Here's the Trump pattern. When the numbers don't match the narrative, Trump doesn't change the narrative, he changes the numbers. And it happens at every level. And I want to start at the personal level with Donald Trump. We've seen multiple former White House aides, first term, second term, go on record describing a culture where Trump only wants to hear the good news. The only news that reaches the president is the news he wants to hear. Staffers who delivered unflattering economic data or bad poll numbers learned quickly to either package it differently or not bring it to his attention at all. His inner circle functions less like an advisory team and more like a curation service for an audience of one. Donald Trump said to The Atlantic, "I run the country and the world." He just prefers someone else to filter out what the country and the world actually look like before it hits his eyeballs. Reality be damned. And at the press level, we've seen it countless times. He's physically shushed reporters in the room. He's threatened the FCC license challenges against ABC and NBC. He's effectively made CBS state-run news, and TikTok is Tick Trump now. He's barred organizations from White House access. He's called for crooked journalism to be terminated. Look, every president uses spin, but this is something more. If the coverage doesn't match the reality he wants, the goal is to make the coverage disappear. And at the data level, data is really hard to argue against. When a BLS job support came back unflattering in August 2025, Trump fired the BLS commissioner, a 20-year career economist, and called her numbers phony and rigged, without a shred of evidence, of course. William Beach, who was Trump's own BLS commissioner in the first term, called the firing totally groundless and says that it set a dangerous precedent. Trump then nominated somebody from the Heritage Foundation who wrote for Project 2025 to replace her. The message was clear. Produce numbers that match the story or get replaced by somebody who will. And then all the Doge cuts to the Bureau has since forced the suspension of most data collection in multiple cities, meaning a third of the prices that were used to calculate American inflation are now estimated rather than actual data. The cost of living adjustments for Social Security, veterans benefits, housing subsidies, and millions of people's tax brackets are now estimated from in cities that we didn't even survey. This is the government deciding that it is too expensive politically to accurately measure how expensive life is for Americans. And all of that, his own personal bubble, the press threats, the fired commissioners, the degraded data, is still just the personal and institutional layer. The place where this impulse does the most structural damage is the census. And there's reporting from Notice this week that the administration is actively turning the Census Bureau on its head. The census has counted every person in the United States since 1790. Not citizens, persons. I mean, it's the 14th Amendment. The whole number of persons in each state. 236 years of settled constitutional law. And yet, Trump posted on Truth Social back in August that he's instructing Commerce to begin a new census, quote, based on modern day facts and figures, and importantly, using the results and information gained from the presidential election of 2024. He wants to base the census on the election. Just so we're clear, a census counts people, an election counts votes. And combining the two is how you decide before the count who actually gets counted. Look, the Supreme Court has already blocked Trump from adding a citizenship question in 2019. Back then, Justice Roberts called the justification contrived. They blocked him again in a court order in 2020. And now we're getting reports that are showing that the administration is trying to do it again into the 2026 census. They've already got a large-scale field trial underway in Alabama, South Carolina, and in tribal communities. The AP is reporting on all of that right now. The White House is not just talking about fixing the numbers, they are doing it while no one is looking. The Brennan Center named this play exactly. It's the census two-step. Step one, manipulate the numbers. Step two, use those numbers to gerrymander the maps. And the gerrymander, it's already running at a scale that has not been seen since the 1960s. Trump personally ordered Texas to redraw its maps. called out individual legislators by name who wouldn't comply. 11 state senators, who resisted, received bomb threats and swatting attempts. 6 total states have now enacted new congressional maps for 2026 outside of the normal post-census cycle. That is more than any non-census election year since 1983. The National Democratic Redistricting Committee described this as a comprehensive campaign to flout the U.S. Constitution in order to predetermine election outcomes. So what does a rigged census make actually permanent? Think about it. If you undercount blue-leaning populations, immigrants, urban residents, communities of color, and draw maps from that undercounted population, you have locked in distortion for an entire decade. The 2030 census will set the maps for 2032, 34, 36, 38, and 2040. That is 5 consecutive election cycles drawn from a deliberately broken count. So this may seem like it's about November 2026, but it's not. This is about whether American elections can be meaningfully competitive for the next 15 years. So it doesn't matter what the level is. It doesn't matter if it's at the staffer level, if it's at the BLS commissioner getting fired for accurate data, or the census designed to erase millions of people who actually live in this country. It's always the same. With Trump, reality is not the thing you change your plans to accommodate. Reality is the thing you change to match your plans. This is the Trump con. And the census is where the con gets baked into our very democracy for an entire generation. For more accountability coverage that actually starts to connect these dots, be sure to subscribe to our channel, like, and comment. And do me a favor, share this one, because this story is not leading the nightly news, and it absolutely should.
They called it closed, filed away, forgotten. But some truths don't stay buried. Time doesn't erase guilt. A reckoning is always just around the corner. A death in Arcadia. Justice has a long memory.